Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so honored to join you for this year's ADL National Leadership Summit. I really wish we could be together in person, but I'm hopeful that we will put this pandemic behind us soon. So everyone, get vaccinated so we can meet together in person real soon. I want to thank Jonathan Greenblatt, Esther Gordon-Epstein, and the entire ADL team for all the work they do, especially during these challenging times. I also want to thank everyone for participating in this year's summit. I'm moved by your commitment to fight for the dignity of all people, regardless of nationality, race, sexual orientation, faith, or identity. You're inspiring us all to take a stand against hate, against bigotry, against anti-Semitism. And it's a privilege to join you today as the first second gentleman and the first Jewish spouse of an American vice president or president. When I think about my story and the story of my own family, I'm reminded that it's really the quintessential story of America, a story that could only happen in a country born out of a belief in freedom. My ancestors, like so many others, came to America to build a new life after escaping persecution in Eastern Europe. And now, here I am, serving our great country as second gentleman, married to the vice president. That could only happen here, thanks to generation after generation of people of conscience. But far too often, our nation falls short of its creed. This is something I couldn't stop thinking about after visiting the Tree of Life Synagogue last October. I joined the families of survivors and the Squirrel Hill community to mark the anniversary of that horrifying attack. We honored the memory of those taken from us. People shot and killed just for attending Shabbat services. People who were just going on about their lives, practicing faith and justice and love. Tragedies like this have no place in our society, and inaction should never be an option. Our goal as a government and as a country should be to open any door blocked by bigotry. Our mission should be to shine the light of justice on any corner darkened by discrimination. Our purpose should be to close the health and economic gaps laid bare among communities of color during this pandemic, to reverse the rising tide of anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, xenophobia, homophobia, any form of hatred around the world, and now to oppose with every fiber in our being the gut-wrenching growth in anti-Asian attacks we've seen over the past year. If we really want to build an America where equity is our guide, justice is our North Star, and everyone belongs, then we must root out prejudice wherever it exists. We have to rid our discourse of defamation. We have to reaffirm our values of love of peace and our fidelity to fairness in policy and practice. We have to, in short, follow the ADL's lead. For many, ADL is the go-to source of data on anti-Semitism, hate crimes, and this disinformation that's going all over social media. This is the place that shows up. It shows up for the Asian American community in this period of unprecedented violence. This is the group that stands up for the civil liberties of our LGBTQ Americans. And it stands firm alongside the Black community and other communities of color against racial injustice and policing. ADL is our administration's partner in the battle to understand, address, and defeat domestic extremism wherever it rears its ugly head. And it's the force educating students and activists and anyone who will listen about what America can be at its best. A place where all of us can participate in our democracy. A place where we can all live where we wish, go to school where we want, marry who we love, and be who we are, free of harassment or fear. And when we move away from these values, when we allow ourselves to be divided, we invite dangers we can't control. January 6th, That was a vile manifestation of what happens when we allow unhinged extremism to grow. It wasn't the beginning of this problem, nor will it be the end, but it can be a turning point, a moment when we realize that no one else is going to pave the path toward a more just future unless we lead the way. This work begins with us, with daily acts of defiance against an unfair status quo, but with regular acts of courage and advocacy in the name of a more perfect union, with leadership from the ADL and from all of you. So thank you so much for your friendship, your partnership, and I wish you a productive summit.